Hello, in this video I'll show you how to remove and replace the front wheel bearing on Skoda Superb. This is the wheel right there, and the wheel bearing is held by 4 bolts. But in order to get access to the 4 bolts and remove them, we need to remove the bolt for the CV axle. Also, we need to remove the 3 bolts on the ball joint and take out the control arm. Also, we need to remove the brake caliper and the brake disc. The brake caliper is held by 2 bolts on the rear. Those 2 big bolts we need to remove, this there and the one up there. We also need to remove that bolt for the brake disc and take out the brake disc. First, to start removing the spring for the brake caliper, and then I'm going to get a screwdriver and push the brake caliper back a little bit so that the brake caliper is loose, and now I can remove the 2 bolts holding the brake caliper along with the brake caliper support. First, I'm going to remove this electrical connector for the brake pad wear sensor, and now I'm going to remove the 2 bolts. Now that the bolts are removed, I'm going to bring the brake caliper up and catch it on a rope or something, just so that it stays up there. Next, I'm going to remove the bolt holding the brake disc and remove the brake disc. First, I'm always hammering it in so that I can shake it a little bit, and then I remove the bolt. The disc doesn't want to come out, so I'm going to hammer it a little bit. So I'm going to hammer it in the middle until it gets loose and I can remove it. And that's the brake disc out. Now I have access to the wheel bearing. Next, I'm going to remove the bolt for the CV joint. I'm going to put the bolt in again and push the CV joint in as much as possible. And now I'm going to remove the 3 nuts for the ball joint. Next, I'm going to take out the control arm from the ball joint and remove the CV joint from the wheel hub. And now I have access to the 4 bolts holding the wheel bearing. These are the 4 bolts, 2 on top and 2 on the bottom. Before starting to remove the 4 bolts, first I'm going to bring the CV axle up and I'm going to catch it on a rope so that it stays up and it's not in my way to remove the bolts. This is the socket that I'm using to remove the 4 bolts. It's M12. First, I'm going to use a long ratchet in order to loosen them easier because they're put on very tight, and afterwards I'm going to use my electric ratchet to remove them completely. If the video is useful, please like and comment on the video and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. Now that the bolts are removed, the only thing left is to take out the wheel bearing along with the wheel hub, but it doesn't come out very easy because it's very stuck because of the rust and everything. So I'm going to try and take it out with a slide hammer. But to take it out with a slide hammer, first I'm going to put on the CV axle and the control arm back in their place so that they hold the whole wheel from moving. And now I'm going to put on the my slide hammer and try and take it out that way. So now I'm going to try and hammer it out to see what if it will come out. It should separate from there. We'll see now what will happen. Nope, the only thing that came out is the wheel hub. Now next I'm going to use an air hammer with a chisel and try and hammer it out, like where I am going to use the chisel exactly where the wheel bearing has to separate from the rest of the wheel. Here you can see it's starting to separate a little bit, but you need to hit it from all sides and it will separate eventually. You can see the hole gets bigger, so it's starting to separate. Now I'm going to try and use a pry bar and pry it out. It's coming out, and that's the wheel bearing out. This is where the wheel bearing is sitting. Before putting on the new wheel bearing, make sure you clean it maybe with sandpaper, the bed where it's sitting, and put on the new wheel bearing. But first we're going to remove the control arm and the CV axle so that when we put on the new wheel bearing we'll be able to tighten the bolts. Next I'm going to put on the new wheel bearing. This is the new wheel bearing and that's the part number for it. We'll put on the new wheel bearing, maybe lubricate it a little bit if you want, and then put it on and put on the bolts and tighten them. Once all the bolts are tightened, that means the wheel bearing has been replaced. Now we're going to assemble everything else in the reverse order. First we're going to put the CV axle back on, we're going to put the control arm on, and we're going to put the bolts on and tighten them. Afterwards we're going to put on the brake disc and the brake caliper and tighten them as well. And then afterwards we're done. Hopefully the video was helpful. Please like and comment on the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.